Welcome everyone to all of the listeners and viewers on AUIB FM 101.5. AUIB, we strongly believe that education today shapes the generation of tomorrow, and it has always been our foremost mission to enhance the education sector in Iraq, not only through the exceptional faculty and programs, but also through building a strong foundation for our future educators at the Distinguished College of Education and Human Development. So over the years, the college has witnessed remarkable growth and transformation thanks to the collaboration with the Vanderbilt University. And today we are honored to host one of the Vanderbilt's team, who is Dr. Brian Kissel, a professor of literacy education. So we will know more about him and also about the collaboration with Vanderbilt University. Welcome, Dr.
Hi,
Kissel.
thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for being here in the station. So
Yes.
what do you think of the vibes of AUIB FM?
Oh, it's the vibes of the radio station is
Yes.
amazing. Yes.
Yes.
I feel like a movie star
Really?
here in the studio.
Well, we're really happy to
and
have
you have a
here.
beautiful view.
Yes,
It's
yes.
gorgeous here.
This is one of the strong points that we have in here.
Yes.
Well, you're visiting. This is your first time visiting
First time.
AUIB campus. So what do you think of the campus?
It's been just a beautiful experience. We got here at 5 in the morning on Sunday, and the campus was all lit up, and it was stunning to just drive in and see all the lights and the beauty. And then I woke up in the morning, and it was cooler outside. You know, I'm not. It's still pretty summery in Nashville, so it was a nice, cool morning, and walked a little bit around the lake, and just stunning. Just a beautiful, beautiful campus.
It's definitely lovely, and it sets the mood out.
Yes.
So further from the AUIB radio station and AUIB's campus, so probably the listeners and the viewers would like to know more about you, why you are here. Dr. Brian, can you please introduce yourself to the listeners?
Sure. Well, yes, I'm a professor of literacy at Vanderbilt University, and I am a former school teacher and literacy coach. And I came to Vanderbilt in 2019 as a professor of literacy, and I teach mostly courses on teaching teachers how to teach reading and writing to young children. So my focus is really early literacy, and specifically early writing development. I joined this team when it first started back in 2022 with our collaboration with AUIB. And I've been part of the design team. So in that role, I've helped develop the courses that would be taught within Department of Teaching, Learning, and Design. And I've been working pretty closely with the professors here at AUIB in professional development. So we talk about their courses, we strategize, we talk about just engaging activities that we can do with students in classrooms. And each week we gather together on Zoom and talk through the classes that they've been teaching. So it's been such a wonderful collaboration with the professors here at AUIB.
Yes. That's definitely inspiring, and it's it tells us something that how education can really shape our future and young leaders, and how important it is to just build that foundation.
Absolutely.
Yes. Well, the Vanderbilt University, you came from Vanderbilt University, and we know that it's well known in education. What is your perspective about Vanderbilt University? Why people really are inspired, and why do we have this collaboration between AUIB and Vanderbilt?
Well, I mean, I think we're all passionate educators, and education happens in all sorts of spaces. So classrooms certainly, but every single space that you go into, there are opportunities for teaching and learning. And at Vanderbilt University, we have our teacher ed program, but we also have our human development program as well. I actually teach in both. So I teach with preparing teachers, but I also teach people who are preparing to be educators in other spaces. So currently, I'm teaching a capstone course with a group of students who are working in the healthcare industry. So they're all doing all sorts of learning and teaching, just different things within the healthcare industry, and it's been certainly very interesting to see what education looks like in that particular field. So, yeah.
So what are we, like, from this partnership between the two universities, what are we aspiring to build? What are we aspiring to change in the field of education, whether here in Iraq or maybe in the United States? In your perspective and your point of view, what are we trying to do here with this partnership?
Yeah, I really think we're preparing the future. The future to go into all sorts of different industries, schools and other industries in Iraq, to educate others, whatever that looks like in terms of either we're educating young children, middle school students, high school students, but also educating in spaces where they can work in the healthcare field. They could work in just different AI fields here in Iraq, maker spaces. Imagine all the different businesses and things that are happening here in Iraq that our students could go into and really work with others about just different ways of teaching in that space and different ways of learning within that space as well. So I think that's what we're trying to do, is just build the next generation. That's certainly what I've always done in the United States with my students. I always think, okay, you are our future. You are the ones that are going to be making the big difference in the world after I'm gone. And so what I want to leave behind is just a sense that you can make change in our world, change for the better. And I think that's true in the United States. I think that's true in Iraq. Anywhere our students go, I want them to feel like they can make big change and impact in the world, because they're the ones who are going to be living it. They're the ones who are going to have children that they're going to raise to be in that world. So I always see education as a way of just making this world a better place.
Yes, that is well said, perfectly said, because I think this new generation really has to remember what you have just mentioned. Being like a role model to everyone after you, it's something really important to remember. And I think through this partnership and building those important techniques that young educators must learn to maybe apply to the others. So I think this was really unique. So since we're talking about the education all in one, elementary education, something that we should mention. You have a bachelor degree and also a PhD degree in elementary education.
I do.
Yeah. So talk to us
well,
about
that is my passion. I'm a former teacher. I used to teach young kids from preschool all the way up to grade 5, and I have children of my own, so I feel like I'm a teacher to them as well.
Yeah.
Elementary ed has always been a passion of mine, and it's just I love teaching kids how to read and write. I think reading and writing especially, is an opportunity for students to be able to express what they think of the world. They get to express their experiences within the world. They get to teach us through their writing. And I think it's just an important way of giving students voice and hearing what they have to think about the world. So anytime I sit down with a student and they've written something, I become a learner. I learn about what they know. I learn about their experiences. I get to learn about their families and their some of their different traditions that they have at home. And I feel like it's a privilege. I feel like it's a real privilege to be able to sit down with a child and learn about who they are. Ultimately, I become a better person because of what they teach me. So I've always positioned myself as a teacher in a classroom, but also as a learner in a classroom, no matter the age of the child, whether they're 3 years old or now I teach adults. So whether they're adults, I'm always sitting down side by side with somebody and learning something new about the world, which ultimately informs who I am.
That's lovely. So being an educator, not just about teaching, it's about learning as well.
Yeah, and I think ultimately you're learning about yourself. I think you think you're going out and you're teaching others about the world, but I think what really happens is you end up learning who you are and your place in the world. And that, to me, is the beauty of teaching.
Yes.
I get to learn about other human beings. I'm a curious person to begin with, so I love to ask people questions, and I love to learn about new things. That's why I love being here. This is such a new experience for me, and I'm just a curious person, so I can ask people, well, what do you do here? What is your life like here? And I think that all good educators are curious people. And that's what I hope we do here at AUIB with students, is to help foster curious human beings.
That's amazing. Well, that's a really lovely experience that you had. So, engaging with the kids and learning from them definitely takes a lot of effort and takes a lot of curiosity, as you've mentioned. So what are the kind of struggles that a young teacher can go through with teaching little kids or maybe adults?
Yeah, I mean, that's a great question. I think a lot of teachers or educators initially struggle with let me think. I think they struggle with thinking that they are the authority and they know and they're the ones who are supposed to know everything. And I think I think that's a lot of pressure to put on yourself. I think if you go in with this attitude of I don't know everything, I actually think that makes you a better teacher.
True.
So, I think students should go into classrooms with humility and enter that space knowing that they don't know everything yet, and they will never know everything. But if they are open and thoughtful and ask questions and continue that curiosity, I think that is what makes an excellent educator.
It does not just only apply to educators. I think as human beings also to just follow the things that you have mentioned, just acting like you don't know anything, you will learn a lot more.
It's a great life skill.
Yes.
Like if you're out in a social setting, I tend to find myself doing asking more questions than making declarative statements. And I think that is a great way of knowing somebody beyond the surface level. I want to know who people are deep down. I want to know what are you interested in? How do you see the world?
Yeah.
How should I be seeing the world differently? I just love when people challenge me and my own beliefs about things. And seeing a different point of view. I think that's just an important part of being a human being, is being able to see other people's perspectives and learning from those different points of view.
Yes, and they will definitely feel it when they see you asking questions and being curious about them. It will open the doors to communication. They will communicate with you. They will tell you a little bit more. So that's definitely a skill.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, since we're talking about the education and the struggles,
yes,
they're definitely from this partnership. We're trying to build something different here in the education in Iraq. So what are the techniques that you guys apply in the Vanderbilt University that you are aspiring to build inside AUIB?
Yeah, well, one of the things is we just went out to a school yesterday, and one of the things we're striving for is these really rich partnerships of schools. So we want our students to be able to go into these spaces and learn how to educate within these spaces. So that's one of the main things, is building partnerships, whether it's a school setting, whether it's an NGO, whether it's a museum, and really building these kinds of collaborations beyond AUIB. So I think learning happens for sure on campus in our classrooms, but so much learning for AUIB students is going to happen outside the classrooms, in the field, in these different spaces where they'll be working. So that's one of the, I think, main things that we're focused on this visit is, who are the people that we can collaborate with, so that our students get a really rich experience beyond campus.
Yes. Well, since you have been collaborating with students and have been visiting a lot of schools lately, what is the most distinguished thing that you have found in the Iraqi students?
Oh my gosh, they're wonderful. They are wonderful. I got to sit in a classroom yesterday and actually sit in a group and talk while they were doing group work.
Yeah.
And the passion that they had as they were doing that work was inspiring.
Yeah.
it was just so fun to see their interactions, to see their excitement about the learning. They were so respectful and polite to me sitting at the group with them.
Yeah.
And you can tell that they are just so happy to be in a learning space. And that, for me, was really inspiring yesterday. And I can't wait. I'm going to be doing some more classroom visits while I'm here.
Yeah.
So I can't wait to get back into those classrooms and talk with students, because they... I was exhausted because I was jet lagged. I got in at 5 in the morning, and that class was at maybe 10. So I was on 4 hours of sleep, but I left that classroom feeling totally energized, because the students were remarkably passionate about being in that space.
Yes.
And so anytime you see that kind of passion from students, you leave a space feeling much more energized.
Yes, exactly. So could you see that in AUIB students as well in the College of Education?
Oh, that's the class I was in.
You were in the class of
Yes,
education.
I was talking about
Yes.
AUIB students. Yes, it's their passion that is so inspiring.
Yeah. And of course, AUIB, from those partnerships, are trying to build that. You as a crew and team member from Vanderbilt, just being there just shows them how AUIB is committed to making a better future.
Yeah. Well, it makes me so hopeful for the future. When you see a group of AUIB students sitting in that classroom and participating and sharing ideas and sharing what they've learned so far in that class, it just gives you such a sense of hope for the future. I experienced that with my own students at Vanderbilt, where they are excited to learn, and it's inspiring. It really is.
Well, along with all these positive things and traits in AUIB students, there's definitely some struggles, that we struggle as maybe Iraqi people or maybe as students in this young generation. So what do you think is the most struggle that we need to solve and work on?
That's a great question. I think a struggle is not listening to one another enough. I think we need to be open to different perspectives and really listening to one another. I think technological advances like AI, I think offers opportunity, but also I think there's going to be some struggle with that as well. I think it will really change industries quite a bit. What I'm hopeful for, though, with things like AI, is that while it will change education, and I think it will change classrooms, if we're talking about classroom spaces, I don't think AI will replace a teacher, because you need a human being for that human connection, something that I don't think AI can provide. You also need that human being for empathy, for comfort, you just need that adult in that room with young children. Yeah. So while AI, I think, will be a challenge, or actually an opportunity in schools, I think AI is going to be a bigger challenge in other industries. I think it could replace more entry-level positions. And so I think that's going to be our big challenge of our generation, is figuring out how can we work with AI so that it provides opportunities. So I kind of see that as our big challenge currently.
True. Yeah. I think AI has been a challenge to everyone, not just in the sector of education. But you still think that incorporating and integrating AI is still important to integrate it in the education system? Oh,
we can't ignore it. It's here. So it's not something we can just ban and say, oh, we're just not going to do AI. Of course, we're going to have to incorporate it, but we have to think about ways of doing it so that it is ethical, and so that it is supportive. Yes. And maybe AI will help us alleviate some of the things that we used to do that it was too time consuming, and now if AI can help us with that, but we can also find ways of incorporating it for the good. So I will use AI sometimes as a teacher. Just I'll say, I'm doing a lesson on this particular topic. Can you give me some different engagement exercises that I could do with the class So it's not giving me the content to teach. It's maybe giving me some ideas of how I might be able to best engage students with that content.
Yes.
So I think there are real opportunities. So I don't want to say it's a challenge in a bad way, but it's definitely going to be a challenge because it's going to make us rethink how we have always done things. So it's gonna ask us to innovate more than ever.
Yeah, definitely. So it's maybe to teach them how to use it as a tool, not as something.
That's right.
Yeah, to count on it 100%.
That's right.
Yes. Well, the Vanderbilt cooperation, what is the next step to take within AUIB?
Yeah, well, we were just talking about that right before we got here today. We're launching a master's. I took some notes. We're launching a master's in higher ed, administration and leadership. So I think that is the next step with our collaboration. Of course, continue on the path. We're in year 3, or we're going into year 3 with our design work. So we will continue building those courses and working with students and our professors in that work. So yeah, we have plenty of things to work on for the next for the next year.
That's inspiring. Maybe we'll know more details about it maybe in the next few months, within your next visit we can see all of these programs being finally established.
Absolutely.
Yes. Well, for a final message, what would you like to say for the future educators of Iraq?
I think this is a noble pursuit, and I think that it's so important for us to think about who the generation is going to be that comes after us, and what kind of world do we want to build for them. How do we want to continue to inspire our next generation after us? I mean, I want our future educators. I just saw a fish jump into the lake over there.
Yes, we see that all the time here in AIB.
Cool. I just want our future educators to know that they're responsible for the next generation to come. So what kind of world do you want for them? Let's build that world together.
That's really inspiring and well said. Well, your visit here, Dr. Brian Kissel, was really inspiring, and I really enjoyed this conversation with you, and I really hope that I can see you in really next episodes, and maybe we will talk more about this collaboration. So it was really lovely to have you here.
Well, thank you for having me.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your contribution here at AUIB FM 101.5. Thank you.